Hi Libra, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Libra, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. Don't forget to use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you have the Magician card, right? So your words are extremely powerful this week, and more importantly, you are eyeing the top spot in some way, shape or form. This is going to see you this week really looking not only to advance yourself or advance your path, but in a lot of ways this sees you putting your plans into action. Like there's something this week where it's no longer just talk, it's no longer just ideas and concepts. This is a week where you are acting on something, and it may be a very deep internal drive where you just feel this need to set something into motion, to make something real, where you take the possibility and you shape it into something real. That's the Magician, right? So this week in a lot of ways is very much about your actions, but it's also about the focus that you have, or rather the focus that you have, the results that you're focused on in terms of the way that you're using this energy. It's like you have a very clear idea of where you're going. So your foundation card for the week ahead is the Temperance card, right? Your words this week have the potential to be very healing. Your words have very, very big potential this week to settle a score, settle a situation, to bring something to an end, or even to bring something to fruition, right? It's all going to be in how you use it and what you choose to do with it. The other thing that I will say to you as well, this week you have that energy of unfuckable with, right? Like this I find very interesting because I get the sense that whatever someone tries to pull you into this week, you're going to be so focused and centered within yourself that it's not even going to affect you like that, which is super powerful. I mean, I love this, especially with the Temperance card. For those of you that are so inclined, this could, especially because you had the Temperance card, this week could literally see you delving into some form of spiritual work. This could see you giving time over to your occult studies, specifically in the branches that represent or are tied to healing. For some of you, you could be undergoing spiritual healing. You could be offering this. Like there's a very big focus on these things for you this week. And I feel like in a lot of ways, this is you mending a personal rift. And for some of you, this may be through words. It may be through writing. It may be through something that you are creating in that literary sphere, which is very powerful. If you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit that subscribe button and I will see you all in the comments. Your actions and options this week, you have the Knight of Wands, right? So not only are you initiating something, but you are powerful this week, right? There's no holding you back. There's no stopping you. Like whatever you have to say, you are going to say it. You're going to be heard. Now, that's not to say that, it's not to say that Libras are always meek and mild. It's not that. But very often you guys will think about what you say. Whereas this week, it's like, no, I have the impulse. It feels like it's right to do, and I'm going to do it now. You're following your passions and you're letting, your smarts or your loins, depending on where you're at in your own journey, lead the way this week, right? That is what's pushing or driving you forward, this need to express something on a very deep level. Something that you have to say that you're not holding back on anymore is going to be expressed in a very powerful way this week. Now, for a select few of you, I do see some form of a journey here, but the weird thing is I don't feel like this is a journey that's planned. I actually feel like you're likely to get a phone call or an invite of some sort that will see you traveling spontaneously or needing to travel spontaneously. Whether you do or don't take this travel obviously is completely up to you, but I feel like it will come quickly. So for your communications and conversations, you've got the Knight of Pentacles. You're definitely going somewhere. This card, above all cards, cards represents a mode of transport. So it's not like travel overseas. This will be maybe going to, you know, somebody that lives a few towns over, maybe a road trip of some sort. Now, it is in the communication sector. This suggests to me that you had a plan for something. It was going to take this long, and I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to launch on this date. And it looks like you've thrown all of that out of the window, and you're like, no, I'm fast tracking this and I'm doing it now. Now feels like the right time. This feels, you know, this feels like it's aligned. Sorry about that. This feels like it's aligned. This feels like what I'm supposed to be doing, but this is the timeline. So, you know, you might feel like you're maybe scrambling to catch up this week, and, you know, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means you may have to move quicker on something that you had originally planned. Now, when it comes to those of you that work for somebody else, this week, there is that... I see you literally making the decision. It's either that you're done working for somebody else, or it's like, if my boss doesn't give me a raise, if I don't get that recognition, if I don't get that promotion, if I don't get my acknowledgement, I'm out. And it's really interesting because, like, it's your feet are already doing the walking. Now it's like or maybe your brain and your heart are already doing the walking, and now your feet have just got to catch up. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this is you being very clear on where you are taking your business from here on in. It's like, if before you had an idea and you had a plan, now it's like, no matter what stood in your path, you are 100% clear on your plans, and there's nothing holding you back, which is amazing. For those of you that are retired or no longer working, this will very likely be a journey that does need to be taken. And for some of you, I get the feeling that this journey is going to help you consolidate your power. For those of you that are spiritually inclined, that move in the pagan, Wiccan, spiritual, you know, those communities, it looks like some of you might be taking initiation this week. Very possible. There's something about this week that sees you stepping over or through a threshold where you're not coming back. And if you do come back, you're coming back very different to how you left. Now, you've got two knights. Two knights represents intimacy. And because you've got this powerful energy of the Magician card, whatever you are initiating into the world this week or moving ahead with, it's so deeply intrinsically tied to who you are. It's something that you really care about. And should anyone try to step on, challenge or hassle this thing, you will take them out, right? Maybe only with your words, but boy, listen, I've seen Libras go with words and it ain't pretty. For your love and relations, you've got the Emperor card, right? For those of you that are single, this could very well be a week where you are connecting with someone. And if you are, this person is seasoned, as I like to say. You know, I love that salt and pepper. This person is seasoned, but this is also somebody that has done either very well in a career that is something to do with the legal, possibly the legal professions. So this could be a police officer, it could be a lawyer. With this combination of cards, it's very likely to be somebody whose title is their job, and it will have been something that they needed to study in order to do this. So, you know, they could be, I mean, a police officer probably not as much, actually. You know, maybe this is a soldier, a general, a lawyer, a barrister. We call them barristers here, or, you know, a judge. Like, there's a very strong element that whoever it is that's, for those of you that are single and looking, whoever it is that's coming into the picture has traveled the world likely, or is very well versed in human connection through their work. Like, there's something very powerful about this person. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term relationships, that Emperor card basically says that this week you are taking the reins of the relationship. And I actually think this is a good thing. I think in a lot of ways you're taking command of a situation, and I kind of feel like your partner is, it's not even like they're, oh, okay, get out of their way before I get trampled. It's more a case of, you know what, they are doing this, they need to do this, and I support them. So your partner fully supports you in whatever you're doing, and this may actually improve the relationship between you. For your money and materials, you've got the Queen of Wands. So you've got an Aries woman here that shows up very strong, right? This is very likely to be somebody that you either have a business or working relationship with. Why? Because money is involved here. Now, you've got that Knight of Pentacles above her, and in a lot of ways, this is your finances, your money, and your resources. You're having to get very clear on what the budget is for something. So if you are, let's say for your business, you're creating an ad campaign, you're looking at the amount of time that it's going to run, what it's going to cost you, and what you expect to get in return for that investment. There's a lot of that kind of thing going on this week. You guys naturally are very studious anyway, but I feel like you're really digging into the numbers this week because you want to make sure you're getting what you feel like you're owed for what you put in. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the Queen of Wands is going to be your back, your heart, and your spine. For those of you that are traveling by car, this might be one of those weeks where you want to invest in one of those squidgy gel things if you're going to be sat in a car for a long time, and it looks like some of you might be. Long road trip. And then when it comes to your home and environment, the Queen of Wands is, so when it comes to the home and environment, this week you might find that things get a little bit terse in the neighborhood. Weirdly enough, I don't think this is anything to do with you. I just feel like it's something that's kicking off or going on in your environment. So, this could be anything from, cars being stolen and or vandalized, probably more vandalized than stolen. There's no Seven of Swords or anything like that here, but it's definitely a possibility. And I kind of feel like you're shoring up the boundaries of your own property in response to this. Okay, when it comes to for the week ahead, let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Take care, and I will see you soon.